Well, they came, they deliberated, and then they left.
Christopher, Deedy, jurors still have yet to decide whether the federal agent is a murderer or not. KITV4's Laura Yamada is our point person in the continuing coverage, and she's just back from court after another day with no verdict. Laura?
Well, they came and didn't leave, not even for lunch. This jury of 8 men and 4 women have a mountain of evidence and 20 days of testimony to deliberate on, including some choppy surveillance video. Now, there's been plenty of talk about the possibility of a hung jury in this case, in part because they have to decide between two extremes, murder or acquittal. Now, we talked with former city prosecutor Don Picaro today, who was involved in a 2001 ruling that highlights the unusual nature of this case. In State versus Neal, the Hawaii Supreme Court said so-called all-or-nothing cases were, quote, detrimental to the criminal justice system, and that trial courts must offer jurors the option of lesser offenses if there's a, quote again, a rational basis in the evidence for a verdict acquitting the defendant of the charged offense and convicting the defendant of a lesser offense. But in this case, jurors must reach a unanimous decision on a charge carrying a term of life in prison.
In murder, you have to prove that the person intentionally or knowingly caused the death of that individual at that time. Okay?
And beyond a reasonable doubt.
Beyond a reasonable doubt, you know, and
that's tough
you know,
standard.
I mean, it's a tough standard. Some people like to think that intent is formed over a long period of time, but you know, intent can be formed in a matter of seconds. But to convince the jury of that, I mean, that's the job of the prosecution.
Another example of why jury instructions can be complicated. Each attorney can write up how they believe jurors should define terms such as self-defense or reasonable doubt. It's an awful lot for them to absorb in a pretty short period of time. Now, if there's a hung jury, the court will declare a mistrial and the process starts all over again. And that could benefit the prosecution, who would then be able to reconsider introducing lesser charges such as manslaughter, which still carries a hefty 20-year term. Jury back at it tomorrow at 9 a.m. Back to you.